Good evening, everybody. Thank you for waiting. Appreciate that. Thank you very much to everyone in the comments already. Appreciate that as well. There's over 60 people watching live already waiting for me. So thank you very much. I do appreciate that. But yeah, let's get into it. Kieran Tierney, second bid rejected. That bid was thought to be in the region of about £19.5 million. So we're going to see over the next couple of days and coming weeks how much Arsenal want Kieran Tierney, because I feel like the fact that they've gone in with two bids is a sign that they do want him. Obviously, they wouldn't be bidding for a player they don't want. Let's be real. I don't think he's being used as the player to bid for to try and hurry up another player, if that made any sense to you whatsoever. Evening VP, thank you, mate. But I think that sometimes as a club, sometimes you go and put a bid in just to G up the next person that you genuinely want, your first choice. I personally believe Kieran Tierney is our first choice. I do think he'll also be a footballer for Arsenal come the end of this transfer window. How much that's going to cost, who knows? We're going to find out. And listen, I've seen on social media various Celtic accounts tweeting about Kieran Tierney, saying he's Celtic through and through and this and that. As much as he probably is Celtic through and through, I don't dispute that in any way, shape or form. At the end of the day, if a big enough bid comes in for him, Celtic are going to have to sell him. It's as simple as that. They need to step it up for Champions League football and stuff like that. They never really seem to have done any good in the Champions League over the recent sort of years and stuff like that. So, you know, obviously it's massive money for them for getting into the Champions League and getting out the group stages and stuff like that. So if they get a bid in for Tierney that's acceptable, it doesn't matter whether he loves the club, they will sell him. And I do believe we are going to sign him. I think the fact that we've put two bids in for him shows there's enough intent there. Obviously, this is just negotiating tactics. We'll start low, work our way up, and eventually meet in the middle somewhere. They value him about £25 million. And let's be real, £25 million is still pretty cheap in today's market for a decent left back. So I think that we will get him. I don't think we'll get him for £25 million. I think it'll be a little bit less than that. I reckon around the 23, 22, something like that. Maybe some add-ons included in that as well, like on top. So it could rise to over £25 million, but I don't think we'll be paying £25 million plus add-ons. We could obviously throw in Cole Jenkinson into the mix and give Jenkinson to Celtic. We could loan the right back Tutu. I'll say Tutu. He could go on loan there. Maybe stick him into a loan deal as part of the deal for Tierney. But I do feel, somebody says, give him El Neni. Mate, we can't even give him away, unfortunately. 35p plus a cone. We can give him Steve Bold as well. We could throw that one into the mix as well, couldn't we? But I do genuinely believe we will sign him. And, you know, the fact that this was first reported a couple of weeks ago, and then there was a report out earlier this week saying that Emery's made him his #1 target at left back. And then in the space of 2 or 3 days, we've bid twice for the guy, would suggest as a fan where I'm sitting that we want him, and I think that we are going to get him. And you know what? I make Emery right by going and getting him. You know, at the end of the day, our defence was a shambles last season. 51 goals conceded, which ironically was the same amount of goals conceded in the league as the season before. So we hadn't actually genuinely improved in defence. Yes, we scored more goals. Yes, we got more away wins. We got more wins in total. We got more points. Everything else was a positive. The negative was the fact that our defence was shocking. And that was what ultimately cost us top 4 last season, was the fact that we were just shipping goals left, right and centre, especially in them last 7 or 8 games where we were getting battered by Wolves and Leicester, drawing at home with Brighton. So I think Emery should be going out and buying defenders. I think every single Arsenal fan, if you asked every Arsenal fan that you know, where's the priority this season? Where should we be strengthening? Every single Arsenal fan will tell you it's defence. Man United are in the same boat. So, you know, we're going to be battling it out for maybe some of the same players. Kieran Tierney's not one of them by the looks of it. They've obviously got Luke Shaw in that position. But I do think that if he comes in, he would massively improve us. I think that he's got the quality. He's more mobile than the left backs that we've got now in Kolasinac and Monreal. He can cross a ball, which is an improvement. Although saying that, Monreal's not bad at crossing, but Monreal's old now. So I think we're all in acceptance that Monreal is finished at Arsenal. Now it's just a case of getting him out. Maybe you could go back to Spain, somewhere like that. I don't know. But with Kolasinac, there's a lot of people who still think Kolasinac's half decent. For me, I don't see it. I don't see it at all. Like I said, I don't think he's mobile enough. I don't think that he gets around the pitch quick enough. He can't defend. He's actually a liability at times in defence. And going forward, yes, he gets in fantastic positions. But would Kieran Tierney get in them positions? Probably. Would he put a better delivery in the box? 100% yes. Thank you, J. Rob. Arsenal just get it done. Yeah, see, this is the thing. I want them to get it done. I want us to, I've said this on so many streams in the last week, I want us to get our players done and dusted, and maybe not all of them, but as many as we need in, and that we've got set to go and buy and want to buy, maybe go out and get them done and dusted before we go to America. Because that is crucial for us. You've got to get these players in and get them into your philosophy as quickly as possible so that you're not learning as the season goes on. Because let's be real here, Unai Emery last season had a full pre-season. The players bought into his philosophy to start off with, and then something changed halfway through the season where a lot of them just seemed like they were downing tools and didn't really enjoy it. But at the end of the day, I don't care if they enjoy it. It's their job. They've got to do it. They're paid to do it. And if they're not doing it, you get them out and you get people in that can. So, listen, I think Kieran Tierney's a fantastic player. Can he elevate us into making our defence a lot better than it is? I think he can. But he can't do it on his own. We need a centre-back. I think that Rob Holding and Socrates are decent centre-backs. We massively missed Rob Holding at the middle part of the season when he got injured. And he was a big, big loss for us. And it was no coincidence that we looked an absolute mess without him in the team when he was the one that was comfortable on the ball, coming out of defence, and just has a calming presence about him. And he's fantastic in the air, very good with his feet. And soon as he went out the side, we capitulated, basically. We were playing Monreal there. We were playing Koscielny there, who I think done pretty well, to be honest with you. But it still ain't good enough. We need to go and get a proper centre-back that's not an ageing footballer that's coming towards the end of his career. We need somebody that's now coming up on the rise, somebody that can take us to that next level. And let's be honest here, right? The next level, as much as I don't care about finishing third, fourth, fifth, sixth, whatever, because it don't win you nothing. But as a club and going forward, the next level is Champions League. And then once we get Champions League, we then need to maintain Champions League. So it's not going to be easy, let's be honest. You know, Man City and Liverpool are streets ahead of anything right now. Then you've got Tottenham. They've not spent hardly anything, or they didn't spend anything for 18 months now. So I think that they're being quite clever with how they've done it. They obviously knew they had a decent enough squad. With all the injuries they had this season, it's mad what they actually got to the Champions League final. Glad they lost. They only just scraped in the top four in the end. And if we had bucked our ideas up in the last 7 games, we would have pipped them. But they're going to strengthen this summer. And I think they've got quite a bit of money stashed around to go and buy players because they've been penny pinching for 18 months now. So they've done nothing for free transfer windows. So I think they're going to go out and strengthen. I think that Chelsea are obviously on a transfer ban, but they've got 1,000,001 kids they can promote from their youth setups. And a lot of their kids are decent. Then you've got Man United, money bags. They can go out and spend £100 million on a player if they want to. Their income is ridiculous. It's like 500 odd million a year or something stupid, 600 million a year. So they should be shopping in a different market to us, but I don't necessarily think they're going to be. I think that we're going to, like I said a minute ago, go in for the same player a couple of times, and it's going to be a case of, does he want to go to Arsenal or does he want to go to Man United? So we're going to see centre-backs definitely linked to both of us. And we have for the last 6 weeks. And it's, you know, it's quite kind of weird that two of the best clubs in England that have fallen from grace are both struggling to sign a player. But with that being said, nobody else has really done anything. Let's be honest. I know Man United signed the lad from Swansea, but is he a first team regular from the get go? I'm not sure he is. He's a good player. Don't get me wrong. He's a fantastic young prospect, but I don't think he's going to be one to go straight into their team. I think that's one that they're going to use sparingly over the season and try and bed him in for next season. But you know, when you look at the teams below us, other than Man United, you've got Wolves, you've got Leicester, you've got Everton. Right now, last season, Fulham outspent us, and who else was it? Fulham, Wolves. There was a couple of others. I can't remember the others. Can't remember. I think it was West Ham, and I remember saying to Robbie when he mentioned that on one of the opening games. I think it might have actually been the West Ham game after that game. And I said to him, listen, it doesn't matter how much money you spend, it's how you spend it. And I said to him that one of them teams that has spent over £100 million will sack their manager by Christmas and end up getting relegated because it would have gone so sideways, and they'll just have to sack him. And that ended up being the case with Fulham. They sacked their manager and they ended up getting relegated. So, you know, it doesn't matter if you don't go out and spend 100, 200, 300 million, as long as you go out and spend, and you spend wisely and fill in the gaps and make your club better and make your team better, it doesn't matter. That's how I see it. You know, you could go out and buy a player for 70 million quid. There's no guarantee he's going to be any better than a kid like, I don't know, say you could go and do 70 million on Ruben Neves. Right? Who's to say he's going to do any better for us than Smith Rowe? You know what I mean? You don't know. You know, just because he was fantastic at Wolves don't mean he's going to be fantastic at Arsenal. So there's always a risk when you go and buy players. But I just think that we do need defensive reinforcements badly. I think that's a must. And I think the front line, that'll get us enough goals. But we need to go out there, still strengthen the front line. And wouldn't it be good if we ended up with Ryan Fraser and Kieran Tierney on that left-hand side? Instant improvement. Instantly, you have produced more output in terms of getting the ball in the box. You'd like to think that Fraser had scored more goals than Alex Iwobi did. You could then use Alex Iwobi on the other side, or you could play him in his own position, or you could just sit him on the bench and have him as an impact player. And, you know, for the sake of £25 million for each of them, 50 million quid, that makes us better. And that's obviously providing they both come in and hit the ground running. Like I've just said, it ain't always the case, is it? But the output on that left-hand side, and let's be honest here as well, last season, the majority of our play came down the left-hand side. And we were a bit one-dimensional at times. But if you've got that left-hand side locked so badly that you have got two quality players that can cross a ball and their work rate is decent, you have instantly made that side of the pitch 10 times better. That's how I see it. Then you have to focus on putting a proper centre-back in place next to the one or two that we've got now. Then you need a backup goalkeeper. You need a midfielder. We need somebody to come in and replace Aaron Ramsey. Could that be Smith Rowe? I don't know. I think he's brilliant, but who knows? We shall see. We shall see what Unai Emery wants to do. I also think that we maybe need a second centre-back. So then you've got four decent centre-backs. You've got Socrates, Holding and two others. So then if you do get an injury to one of them two players or one of them three players, you've got another one to come in. You can rotate them around. We're going to play 60 games again next season. So why don't you need four centre-backs? I'd also say that we need possibly a right winger, unless we're going to use Reece Nelson, which is what I would do. But if you add all of that up, that's what, 6 players we need there, maybe 7. If you add it up in terms of transfer fees and stuff like that, you're going to be talking about 100-odd million quid. Are we going to go and spend that? We're going to find out. We've got 6.5 weeks left of this transfer window, and we're going to find out at the end of it where we are as a football club and where we are as a football team and where Unai Emery is as a football manager for our club. Because at the end of the day, if Unai Emery doesn't get what he wants, he needs to jack. He needs to leave. He needs to say, see ya, bye-bye, couldn't get what I wanted, I'm leaving. And if he came out and done that, then everyone could categorically sit there and go, do you know what? Fair enough. Yeah, if he's left for that reason. If he doesn't, then it opens it up to debate, and people can go, well, maybe it was Emery that didn't want to buy a player. Maybe it was this, maybe it was that. Who knows? We don't know that. You know, at the end of the day, we've all got an opinion, and that's great. And that's what makes football so fantastic, is the fact that it's pure drama and entertainment every single weekend and midweek. Then you have the international, European competitions, where we're going in the Emmerdale Cup all around Europe again. So that should be interesting. And I have enjoyed that. I did enjoy that last season. I did enjoy it the season before. But let's be real. If you did a poll and asked most Arsenal fans what they want Champions League football, which in turn gives you more revenue, which you'd think would go and be spent on better players. Some players only want to come to you because you're in Champions League, and that's where we have got to go out there and try and entice these players that may want Champions League football to come to a football club that is in the Europa League, and that ain't going to be easy. And the way you do that is by paying extra money in terms of wages, bonuses, stuff like that. So there we go. There's my 15 minutes, 16 minutes on transfers, Kieran Tierney. So yeah, let's see what you guys are saying. Thank you to nearly 500 of you watching live. Not nearly enough likes on the video, so please go and put a like on the video for me while I sip my pure orange juice. Thank you. How long is Emery's contract? I think he's got this year, and then he's got an option to have another year. After him, I'd go for Espirito Santo from Wolves, unless Emery's still here, unless they give him another contract. And if they do that, I'd like to think that he'd been doing well. The highest transfer of the Scottish League is 17 million for Dembele. Well, there we go. Tierney's going to outdo that, isn't he? I think it was. I'd be right in saying this. I read earlier that it'd be the highest transfer fee for a Scotsman in the Premier League. So I don't know how true that is. I may have read it wrong. Ozil's got to go, says Gunnar. Yes, mate, he does. Pure orange juice, about time, son. Yeah, man, I'm chilling. Man. I saw Ziyech in the... Where's it gone? Saw Ziyech in the African Cup of Nations. He was shit. He won't do well in the Premier League. Mate, I can't say anything on that, Manish. I haven't watched a single second of it. I've not watched any football since the Europa League final. I didn't even watch the Champions League final. I watched bits of it on replays. But yeah, that was it. I'm having a nice chilled summer. I ain't sitting there watching football. I'm just chilling, man. I'm going to go recharge my batteries in a couple of weeks when I go on holiday. And the content will still be being put out there. I'll be doing my live streams as normal from Spain. With a nice pina colada. So yeah, should be good. I can't wait. The daily transfer updates will still be coming out as usual at 7 o'clock as well. So yeah, can't wait to get out there. It's 30 degrees where I'm going out there as well right now, so it should be nice. Who is better, says Ryan, Jones or Mustafi? Mustafi, but it's a close call. They're both pony. How much can we get for Ozil? Says Anthony Cummins. I don't know, man. That's a tough question because it depends how you look at it. You know, I look at it from the fact that he's on a mega wage packet, and I think his market value is zero. You know, 1 million, maybe 5 million. I can't see a club coming in and paying 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 million for him plus wages. Not for a player of his age that's coming to the end of his career. Let's be real. So I'd say if you paid maybe 5 million for him, add the 36 million wages over 2 years, 40 million quid for 2 years. That's not as bad as 80 million, is it? Vizard says 1 million. Come on. Do you know what? The only reason I'm saying that, can you name me a club that would pay 45, 50 million, 30 million plus his wages? There's not a club out there that'll do that. So there's a club out there that might do it for 1 million plus his wages, or 5 million. Mickey for 3 million. Do you know what? This is the funny thing. I actually think Mkhitaryan's worth more, because I think there'd be more clubs that'd take him because his wages ain't as bad as Ozil's. So I don't know. I could see Mickey ending up back in Germany. Are you going to Shagaloof? 5 Brits got knifed there over the weekend. Wow. No, Dan, I'm not. I've never been. I never will. Wow. I hope they're all right. That's mad. Mickey had a poor season. Mickey's been crap since he arrived in England, mate. First for United and then for us. Hardcode FC says, "Hi Lee, doing a great job. Love your streams. Would you take Cavani from PSG?" No, I wouldn't. I've never really rated him, if I'm being honest, mate. I don't think he's. And this is going to sound ridiculous, but I think Giroud's better than him. I know a lot of people will laugh at that, but I do. I genuinely think Giroud's better than Cavani. Who will be our first signing, says Smash. Personally, I think it'd be that young goalkeeper, but I don't know. It'd be nice if they did an unveiling of the kit and there was a few players wearing the kits walking out for the kit launch. That would be nice. But we say this every summer, and every summer it don't happen, does it? I would be appalled if Jenkinson and El Neni stay for another year, says Irie Jamrock. Yeah, so would I, mate. So would I. Yeah, I don't think either of them warrant being here. How Jenkinson stayed here for 8 years is mad. Unbelievable, mate. Give Jenkinson the captain's armband. He don't even get in the team. Although it wouldn't be the first time we've made given a captain an armband that don't get games. Finally, with VAR, Harry Kane won't score offside goals against us. Do you know what? That VAR, I've seen a bit of a meltdown. I haven't seen the game, but the England-Cameroon game, there was a bit of a meltdown about VAR or something, wasn't there? I haven't seen it. I just thought I'd say it. I see it on social media earlier. Loads of people were going on about VAR. I'm not for it, man. I don't want VAR. I think it'll slow the game down. It's still subjective. It's not a matter of fact, like a goal line, technology. That is fact. It either crossed the line or it ain't crossed the line. With VAR, all you're doing is making the referee basically go, "Oh, okay, we'll listen to the guy in my ear." Do you know what I mean? It's taken the authority away from a referee and giving the authority to somebody who's still giving his opinion. So I don't know. I just think it's going to cause bedlam next season. Do you have a second team, says Rabba? I do. Arsenal ladies. Arsenal ladies, mate. I don't really support any other team, really, if I'm being honest, mate. Yeah, there you go. Steve-O666 says Lacker's penalty in the final against Chelsea. That didn't even go to VAR, innit? Why? Why didn't that go to VAR? Because that was a nailed-on penalty as well. Not that it might not have changed the outcome of the game, but it was 0-0 at that point, wasn't it? So you never know, it could have. But yeah, that's a perfect scenario. And who decides what goes to VAR and what don't? I've never understood it, mate. Shame we don't have a real on-pitch cap. We miss it. Shame we don't. I don't know what you mean, mate. Sorry, I'm probably having a blonde moment here. Thank you for your donation as well, mate. Shame we don't have a real on-pitch cap. We miss it. I don't know, mate. I'm lost. I'm baffed. Oh, captain. Sorry, mate. Yeah, there you go. See, I was having a blonde moment. Mate, it's about 40 degrees in my apartment. I've got a fan blowing over there. Yeah, and it's just like, I am melting right now. Chris P, thank you for your donation as well, buddy. How much would Bergkamp cost in today's market? Dennis Bergkamp would be more than Neymar cost PSG, mate. He was a genius. Absolute genius. So yeah, I'd imagine over the £200 million mark, mate. And the fact that we signed him for what, 7 million quid or whatever it was ridiculous. So yeah, there we go. Arsenal 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you for that, my friend. Appreciate it. Lee supports Team Stella. I'm supporting Team Pure Orange Juice today, Tropicana. Pogba has a selling price of 150 million. Anyone stupid enough to pay that for him needs their head examined. Kodok 75. Asano will score 30 goals for Arsenal. Yeah, maybe if he's playing as Arsenal on his Xbox One, mate, but he ain't ever getting a game. You never know. He could be the superstar next season. Does FFP rules really state that a club is not allowed to owe other clubs money from transfer deals, which is more than a year old? I'm not sure about that, to be honest with you, mate. But I'd be amazed if that was the case. Was Adebayor better than Van Persie in his prime? Thank you for your donation as well, mate. Do you know what's funny about both of them players? Is they both had unbelievable technique and unbelievable goal scoring prowess, yeah, and they both had an unbelievable season each, yeah. And then we decided to sell both of them. You know, there was a story Adebayor done. It was a proper big write up in one of the papers. I can't remember which one it was. It was recently though, just before the season ended. And Adebayor was speaking about his whole footballing career, his life, and stuff like that. Excuse me. And he spoke about how he'd scored loads of goals and this and that. And he came back into probably pre-season, and Wenger said to him, "Yeah, you're being sold." And he was like, "No, boss, I don't want to go. I don't want to go." He goes, "No, you've got two options. You either go or you will never play again, and we'll put you in the reserves." So that's why he ended up going to Man City, because the club sold him. So I don't know. It's a good question. Mate, it's tight. Listen, Van Persie, I love Van Persie, man. I think the hate we've got for Adebayor is the fact he run the whole length of the pitch playing for Man City, which nearly sparked a riot in the away end. But I'd say Van Persie. I'd say Van Persie was technically better, although Adebayor was decent, though, man. But yeah, I'd say Van Persie. Matty K says, any kids worth promoting to the first team, any of them ready? Yes, I think Nelson. I think Smith Rowe as well. Yeah, definitely them two for me, mate. I think they're the best two we've got. Playing for Spurs, not Man City. No, when he played for Man City, he run the whole length of the pitch, didn't he? And when his knee slide in front of all the Arsenal fans. That 07-08 team was our last decent team, I think, says Patrick. Do you know what? That team should have won the title, mate. But yeah, that team had everything. It was just a shame we never won the league. Phil Foden will be better than Luka Modric. Like, you actually said Lula Modric. Yeah, he probably will be better than Lula, but I'm not sure he'll be better than Luka. Is Lula the older brother? But yeah, I'm not sure. He's a good player though, that Phil Foden. Very good player. And the fact that Pep plays him, that's some high regard right there. Van Persie, Sanchez and Lacazette would be a deadly trio, says Gardita. That would be a deadly trio, mate. That'd be mad. Get Lampard to replace Emery. Nah, man, not for me. Not for me. Eduardo was sick, says Luke. Mate, that geezer, right? That geezer was unbelievable, mate. Unbelievable player. So naturally gifted. And if he hadn't have got injured, we would have won the league. Doherty or Mustafi? You're on about the guy that played for Tottenham? Mustafi. I can't pick any Tottenham player, mate. Would you take Fabregas back? Says Kodok 75. No, I think that ship sailed, but I would have took him back when he left Barcelona. I think it's a miracle. Well, not a miracle, a travesty, should I say, that we didn't. Because he ended up going to Chelsea and winning a couple of titles. he didn't get injured is the story of our lives, says Lung Bergkamp. Yeah, it is, mate. Shame, really, isn't it? Thoughts on Joe, on Chris Willock? Not as good as his brother Joe. Chris Warner says, remember 99 season, we would have won it and stopped Man United's treble season if Hasselbank hadn't have scored. Do you know what? If Bergkamp had buried that penalty as well, man, Giggsy would never have run rings around our whole team that season either. Fine margins, man. David says, Eduardo goal against West Ham was a beauty. Mate, he scored some great goals, man. Fantastic player. Stuart Mackay says, just paid a 25 effing million for Kieran Tierney. It's not that expensive in today's market, especially for a young and potential world-class left-back. Do you know what? I kind of agree with that, mate. I kind of agree with that. It depends what they're trying to negotiate over. Maybe the fee's fine. It's maybe just the add-ons. I don't know. But I do think it'll be done, if I'm being honest. I do think he'll be a player of ours in the future. So Norway, England quarterfinal in the World Cup. Is that what, the Women's World Cup? Like I said, I ain't watched any of it. Can we do a Mr. T on Bergkamp for the European away games and get him in as Arsenal coach? Or do you think it's best left in the past? I ain't getting on no plane. That program was sick when I was growing up. Thanks for your donation as well, Chris. Appreciate it. I think I don't want Bergkamp. I don't want him. Best player I've ever seen at Arsenal. So I don't want to end up with a Steve Bold moment, because who's to say he'd come in and be great? You just never know, do you? So yeah, I don't know. Maybe have him in some capacity. I don't know. Maybe as a coach, not as manager. Definitely not as manager. Maybe have him as an attacking coach. I don't know. Maybe him and Henry would be perfect for attacking coach. But I think we need more defensive coaches than anything. Back three of Gus Caesar, Igor Stepanovs and Mustafi, says DJ Heavy B. Could you imagine how many goals we would concede every week? Arsenal needs Federico Bernardeschi. He's not a bad player. He's not bad. But I think there's better options out there, but he's a good player. Nearly 600 of you watching live, so thank you for that. Please put a like on the video. Let's try and get it up to 200 if we can. Appreciate it. And if you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. It is free of charge to subscribe. Pushing towards that 20,000 mark right now, so thank you. Wenger zipper. Do you know what, right? Wenger in. No. Mate, the headache and dramas we had to get him gone. Don't want that all over again, man. It's all about just trying to enjoy the football matches now, which was hard towards the back end of last season. But, you know, with a new season, with new players comes new hope. So hopefully this season coming up, we'll have some new players, we'll have some new hope, and hopefully we'll climb up that table. You lot are embarrassing trying to get Tierney for peanuts. Do you know what, mate? Yeah, I do kind of agree, but this is all negotiating, man. It's all negotiating. He will be an Arsenal player. I'm convinced of it. It's funny when our main fan channel AFTV has more subs than Spurs YouTube channel. Is that true? Mate, their social media accounts are pretty tiny compared to all the proper clubs. Right, let's do a couple more minutes of these, and then I'm going to get myself out of here. AFTV hit 1 million subs. Yeah, congratulations to Robbie and everyone, man. Everyone who's taken part over the years as well. So that's a mad achievement. I said this earlier on my other stream, on my 5 o'clock stream. Imagine 1 million people standing in front of you. Like, just imagine what that looks like. And 1 million people are subscribed to that channel. So, yeah, man, fair play. Fair play to him. And on to 2 million now, isn't it? Sam Medley says, I'm losing my shit now. We're not going to buy fucking anyone. I think we are, man. Just relax, man. Just chill. Just chill. If we go to America without any players, then I will be having a bit of a rant. You're still confident we're going to sign Tierney? Yes, very confident. I don't know any inside information or anything like that. I'm just giving to you what I read. So, and then having a chat with you guys about it. But yeah, I do think we will sign him. I do think he'll sign for us by the end of this transfer window. Go and get the Brazilian winger from Everton. What do you think? Says D Williams. You on about Bernard? Mate, he turned into a world beater when he played against us. He's not a bad player. I'd rather have Fraser though, if I'm being honest. The second bid for Tierney was reportedly £19 million. So we shall see what the third bid is. Have you forgiven Henri for them Champions League final misses? Do you know what? I still have flashbacks every now and again, man. The thing is, I had this conversation the other day with a mate of mine. I was like, if you was a betting man or woman, right, and Thierry Henry is going clean through on goal, you would put your mortgage on that guy scoring. Yeah, on his right foot as well. Clean through on goal, right foot, you would put money on him scoring. You'd put your house on him scoring. And he put it wide. It's like, oh, mate, nightmares. Vartan, thank you for your donation, my friend. We need to act like a big club. Liverpool didn't negotiate for Van Dijk. Spend the effing money. There's plenty there. Do you know what? I think what they did with Van Dijk, thanks for that as well, mate. I appreciate that. I think what they did is basically they waited a year for him, you know, because they wanted him the year before, didn't they? And in that time, the price doubled, I think it was, or went up about 20 million quid or something. So in the end, they sort of overpaid, but it's worth every penny. He is the best centre back in the world for me. So listen, sometimes you've got to go out and bite the bullet and say, yeah, we're going to just pay the money. But that's not the Arsenal way, unfortunately. We like to long things out, don't we? Chris, thanks for your donation as well, my friend. Adams pisses me off with his overblown ego. What he could do at Arsenal, manager board, etc. Bring him in as a defensive coach. What do you reckon? Do you know what? I love Tony Adams, man. I love Tony Adams. I get why people get the ump with him, because sometimes he does chat rubbish. We all do. Everyone does. But he would be a fantastic defensive coach. He would do a better job than Steve Bold. That guy's the best centre-back we've had. For me, the best one I've seen in my lifetime watching Arsenal. So I think we should bring him in. I've always said this. Maybe go and get a couple of coaches that have played in winning successful teams for Arsenal. Go out there, get them. And, you know, at least when you come into training as an 18-year-old centre-back or a 15-year-old centre-back, you walk in and Tony Adams is your coach. Instantly, you're inspired. You know, they're going to walk in now and see Steve Bold. Yeah, I know he was a good centre-back, but he sort of tarnished that a little bit with the last 6-7 years being the number 2 and then a coach for the first team. So, I don't know, man. There's so many things I'd change at this club right now, but I'd be sat here all day going on about them. See Chelsea and check. Yeah, I'll see him hold his shirt up. Sign Nkunku. I would sign him. Yeah, 15 million euros. I'd sign him. His Portsmouth and Granada couldn't defend to save their life. Says Oliver Fourway. Exactly. No, that's right, mate. They couldn't. That I remember that clip when he was at Granada where it looked like he was doing a dance. That was quite funny. Chris says, least Adams would actually voice his opinion rather than being a puppet. See, that's the thing, he would as well. I don't think he's the sort of person that's just going to sit back and just, you know, nod. Just like, yes, Arsene, yes, Emery. You know, I don't think he's that type of person. A drunk practice session. I think them days are behind him, VP. I'd like to think they are anyway. The way Rooney broke into the United team all them years ago was epic, says Thomas Holland. Do you know what, right? I remember watching his debut against Fenerbahce. Yeah, and I remember laughing at the time going, oh, 27 million quid for an 18-year-old, blah, 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 who's done next to nothing for Everton, scored against us, and that's about it. Yeah, and then he banged a hat-trick. I was like, Wayne Rooney's landed on the scene. And, mate, what a career he's had. Right, let's go do 2 more questions and I'm going to get myself out of it. Thank you to everyone who's been watching. It did go up very close to 600 at one stage. Stayed at over 550 for ages. So thank you very much. Please put a like on the video and subscribe if you are new as well. Let's do 3 more questions and get out of it. Hugo Boss, I don't think it's the real Hugo Boss, says, I do think we need to go all out for 2 centre-backs. It's needed. I agree, mate. 2 centre-backs is a must. We can't go into this season with 3 centre-backs, Monreal and Koscielny still here. Love Island or Europa League. Mate, why do you think I stream at 9 o'clock? Yeah, my missus is sat watching Love Island. I can't watch that crap, mate. The only one I did start watching it, I must admit. But it's a load of crap. The only one of them I've actually liked is the one with Chris and Kem on it. That one was all right. Other than that, every other series has been shocking. It's just full of idiots. Don't think Emery wants a yes man. He wants somebody who can teach a defensive unit. Do you know what? What we need is for defenders to actually want to defend first and foremost. All of this ball playing centre backs, they want to play football. How about just defend and then play ball? But thanks again for your donation, mate. Excuse me. Let's do 1 more question and then I'm going to wrap this up. Outside of Arsenal, who is your favourite all-time player, says S.Teov 666. Messi. I love watching him, man. Love watching that guy. I remember watching his debut as well when Ronaldinho scooped the ball over the defence and then he dinked the keeper and it was offside. And about a minute later, Ronaldinho done exactly the same thing again and Messi scored. So that was sort of the passing of the baton over from one legend onto the next one. Yeah, it was mad. And I remember watching his goal where he run rings around everyone. It's identical to Maradona's goal. Fantastic football. I've seen him live as well. So Gunnable podcast emailed you. It suits you, dude. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, mate. Right, I think that just about wraps it all up. So thank you very much. Messi or Ronaldo? Messi is the best player I've ever seen, mate. So I think that answers that one, buddy. Messi again. I've seen Maradona. I still think Messi's better, but that's just my opinion on it. A lot of people will disagree with that, but that's cool. So I'm going to get myself out of here. Thank you very much. Leave a like on the video, subscribe, press the share button, share it on social medias if you wish. And I will be back tomorrow morning at 7 and then again in the evening with both of my streams. Thank you to everyone who's donated, everyone in the chat and everyone who's watched live. Thank you very much. I'm out of here. Laters, peeps.